Mic check, mic check. About to get started in a second. Y'all just make sure y'all hit that like button. We got some new news for y'all today. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button.
is the moment you all waiting for. Let the music into the deepest things, and let the moment overwhelm you.
Shout out to 421 TV.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless America.
Close the door.
Jay, they keep coming. Come on. I'ma keep serving the thumb and defy the ranks. Shit smell like fungus. No Q and I just the city. Keep fuck out my business, I'm just being honest. Keep dealers and killers a mummy. Wrap your ass up like a mummy. Stack that little white hood and dip on her. I feel like OJ, little homie. Told the plug the car, I'm alone. Send it to the Pope man. Freddie P flyer than most, higher than most. Try me, didn't I see a ghost? 93 OG, it came from West Coast. Tied to your hoe, I just came from a throat. MOBB OG gang, oh let's go.
Yeah, go take a seat, get out the kitchen, I'm cooking, keep whipping it. Long as promoters keep booking, I'm running it. You get it all till I'm done with it. Give me that repo, your block, you won't get it. Hell with the skill, got it booming like speakers. I know what I'm doing. Don't need no features, court dates and funerals, commas and numerals. Really a chef, cook it up right or left. Working my move, I need more than enough. These niggas bluff, they really not tough. Head first, running up a check till my heart start 3-point. Working on my shot, trying to get hot. Swear to God, promise not to fold, never flip flop. Good smoke, good dope, busting out the zip lock. Don't think about it, you try, you might die. These niggas capping, they living a lie.
Talking talking out the side of they must do them out them, got them. Think I won't pop it in front of them boppers. Make a nigga dance like chopper style. Knock a nigga out his boxes. Nigga, how I really be doing this shit. I don't think y'all niggas want a motherfucking problem. Fuck it, hop in the bucket. I pull up on you if you want it. Delivery. Any minute, my name who want it. I'm ready to fuck up on me so honey. I run up in your circle like an orange. Fuck y'all niggas, I ain't talking porn. Oh, you mad at your chick? Blowing on my dick like a fucking horn. If you point over here, might lose your arm, might lose your leg, might lose your head. I set it off for this bitch, nigga. Yeah, that's what Boosie said. Set it off in this motherfucker. Set it off. My clique, all dogs. Just don't make me set it off. No, I'm talking about it came to my attention that niggas talking sideways by independent artists. Nigga, this where it all started. Alright, talk all that talking. Alright, get with the pump, make a nigga jump like damn. I had to crisscross and pop that pussy, nigga. You a pussy, nigga. Need this shit, nigga. Woo. In this summer heat, you need summer's eve. On the big tree out this bitch, nigga. Y'all need to fall back like autumn leaves. Shit, everybody smoking. Someone trying to find me a nigga to smoke. Okie dokie, hokey pokey. Pow, now you hear Georgia Doman. Damn, it's just look like a door. How? You don't see it swinging open. Them bullets was singing, left them wet. Call him Frank Ocean. Let's get back to it. You must wanna meet your maker. Fin him in the ass, pussy nigga. Shaking his ass like a salt shaker. I'ma cut these niggas' asses up like Chucky, Mike, Freddie, and Jason. Social media popping, nigga. Like a pimple, y'all gonna have to face me. Talking all that shit on Facebook. I slap you and leave your face crook. I take your whole head off. Now they call me a face and head crook. See this head here, that's how eggs look. Yeah, that's when you crack it open. I'ma go ahead and break them down. Then roll them up and then practice smoking. Okay, turn it. Who wanna hop inside while I ride the beat? Ride slow like a drive-by. See my partner them on the other side. Look with my little thought and my guy. I'm on the edit up in the sky. 3 fly, you're not. Hop out and get my guy high five. These niggas chicken like Popeyes. I get the green like Popeye. Y'all want it beef? I got 5 guys. Bullets long like a 5 guys fire. So far in the sky, I had to come down like a skydive. Don't look at me, don't look at I. You can't watch, it's my time. Nigga can't play with the words like this. Y'all niggas just keep on rapping like that. I got the glue and the magic. Watch me pull a nigga ass out of polo hat. Abracadabra. I'm practicing on them, cutting them open. Your partner fucking cadaver. Can't even tell him what's happening. Can't even dap him. Yeah, Bruce Lee, boy. Call me Crucial Case show enough. Cause I show enough will leave a hole in a nigga like a fucking donut. Like holy moly, guacamole. I'm on a roll, roly-poly. If you didn't know, nigga, now you know it. Be snitching on a nigga. Fucking police, see, this is a given. I'm blessed. Cause everything that you just heard, nothing was written. I heard and listened. And when it cooked up something up in the kitchen, I hope you're not trying to impress these little bitches. Her pussy, you won't even make it to get it. Damn, pussy, a powerful thing. Turn the niggas into squares and lanes. Nigga, this shit not a part of the game. Shoot your video, stay in your lane. Next time, I'ma get the pad and the pencil. Hey, boss, I ain't need much trying on these niggas no more. Got your little shot of blowing all on my dick like this. Hey, find somebody to play with it.
I've worked at some of the largest retailers on the planet. You think they all have it figured out, but Shopify...
So good to be back, this a new year. This is my year, you know it. I'ma be everywhere just like COVID. Turn the rap game into the Squid Game. Line up, nigga, like a line of cocaine. I'm 912 just like camouflage. I'm about to cause hell and bring pure pain. It's Gucci K. Hating niggas, capping niggas, telling bitches, jealous hoes. They niggas sweeter than jelly rolls. After all these years that I represented, they still ain't showing no love, niggas. So fuck them all with no glove, niggas. Straight raping y'all. They looking for y'all and I done ate them all. Wet day come after Friday. Wet day, mate, that's a Saturday. I'ma kill these rappers on the weekend. So Saturday gon' be a Saturday. I'm about to fuck all y'all pussies up. I'ma beat these pussies up, masturbate. Slap a nigga in the face like patty cake. Like patty cake, patty cake, patty cake. Shout out to Rico, Glenn, kinda youngin'. These rappers starving, man, cook them something, man. Fuck these niggas like a hooker, brother. Call me Crucial Carter like I'm Tunchi, brother. I got a short fuse like coochie cutter. Shotta said I'm a dog, I bet I mother. Shoot a bird at your daddy, shoot a bird at your brother. Then kiss your sister, then fuck your mother. Cruise control, she want this one like a fishing pole. I just want that top like a totem pole. She gagging and shaking, called the Holy Ghost. That's murder, she wrote, murder, she choke. They gon' charge me with murder, deep throat. I heard Shawty be talking too much. Man, it should help me as hero. Hey, hold up, wait, y'all about to get 8-8. Beating on my chest like a goddamn 8. These niggas in the city be crowds in the bucket. I'm allergic, so y'all can stay right there in the bucket. My cousin be blood and I be like, what up, buzz? He said, keep killing these rap niggas, buzzing already. You know that I'm flying on the buzzer. They be all on my tip like a nigga grand hustle. Where my nigga Young Dro at? Long time I came to talk my shit. Hey, hold up, fuck your feelings, nigga. Fuck your feelings, nigga.
We about to get started, y'all. We about to get started, y'all. Get comfortable.
I'm independent. Drop when I wanna drop and say what the fuck I wanna say, nigga.
Shout out to Crucial K. Make sure y'all hit that like button on your way
I'ma
in.
go full ignorant, then go crazy, acting all belligerent. I'm poor with a pimpin', nigga, still a gentleman. Polo still linen, nigga, rap Lauren is still them. Got the big head like the blue Benjamin. I'm a Georgia Papa, I'm on full energy. Y'all crack addicts, I'm a rap addict, cause I'm good at it on a 30th addict. I've been running this game so goddamn long, my legs gone, I need prosthetics. Still running around in circles on them. So athletic, no athlete, but I'm so unique and I'm so elite. Kicking y'all ass and I ain't got no feet. I've been up for days, so I don't need to sleep. I'm full off these rappers, I don't need to eat. Get in my belly, but I'm a little toothpick though. For what? Cause I don't wanna hate you niggas stuck in my teeth. Oh goodness gracious, oh goodness grief. Your whole circle green looking like a reef. I wish a nigga would try me like a tree. I go power banging on every branch and leaf. Can't lock me out, I got the master key. Got beats by the pound like Master P. I'm a soldier, you know my silk is shot. My grease stay lit, I gotta keep it poppin'. Just in case a nigga wanna come and get it poppin'.
Yeah,
I am already lit, don't gotta get it started. Can't restart it, go retarded. I ain't digging y'all niggas like a motherfucking hoe in the garden. God forgives.
I'ma handle that echo.
Y'all half of 100, nigga 5-0. Y'all niggas be telling like 6'9". Then walk around a nigga like the shit fine. It ain't just these niggas, it's chicks too. Middle finger to you niggas and your bitch too. Stick to the G code. 2022, gotta hit these hoes like Devo. The bitches be nosy. Damn, take your ass home. Take that nigga that with you before it be two of him and two of you. I'ma talk my talk, little goofy. Fuck it, hit him with the sticks like sushi. It's that stick talk music. Okay, let's do it.
Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. How everybody doing today? Make sure y'all put a 1 through 10. How your day going so far, man? It's Earz to the streets. Back in your area. Yes, sir. So we gonna get into the Young Thug trial. Y'all know we gotta keep up with it. It's been a lot going on. Today we had a very simple day. So we won't have a whole bunch to go over for day 10. But we did miss Friday, which was day 9. We went over day 8, I believe. But day 9 wasn't a whole bunch. But it's enough to get us through a show. So thank God it wasn't too long. And thank God they kind of got straight to the point. So y'all buckle in. Let's go ahead and get into this trial. I hope y'all like my nice suit. I'm going to switch suits tomorrow, y'all. I think I had this suit on for a day or two. So I like the red suit, man. How y'all like my red suit, man? I'm dapper. I'm a little dapper today. Yes, sir. I got some more suits that I'm going to go through, but I got to go back to the program and change my clothes again. So I'm going to just do my thing in the red suit over here in the corner like a, y'all just act like I'm just a backup lawyer or something. I'm going to put myself over here in the, I guess I'll go over here in the right-hand corner. Like so. I get myself over there. All right, so let's get into the content, man. Salute to Crucial K. So we're going to start with day 10, and then we'll scoot back to day 9, because I want to at least go ahead and let y'all know what's going on. So if you kind of new today, we went over every day of the trial, starting from day 1. We started with Mr. The first thing they started with was, you know, the opening statement, of course, and the defense. I mean, the prosecutor is supposed to tell us how exactly Young Thug is running a thug enterprise or a gang, or the leader of the gang. Now, this young man that you're looking at on the screen, he's one of the main people in the case because of the fact that he's locked up for 2 murders. Yes, not 1, but 2 murders. Now, one of the most crucial murders that he's accused of is the murder of Donovan Thomas, aka Nut. And we spoke on this before already, but just in case anybody's new in here and they haven't had a chance to hear it, Nut was pretty much, the death of Nut was pretty much what sparked this whole investigation. Because Nut was a leader of a opposing gang in Atlanta that, allegedly anyway, he was the leader of the opposing gang. So when that murder happened, it was believed to be this young man, the guy YSL Woody. We talked about him. I've done videos on him, how he sat in there and he snitched on everybody. He can't stop going to jail, but he can't stop snitching either. And then there was another guy that we discussed on the first day. He took a plea deal for 15 years probation, and he supposedly is going to come and testify against Young Thug when it involves that murder of what Young Thug's role was. So far, we've seen a whole bunch of them telling us a whole bunch of petty crimes, but none of them involve anything too serious. It's been little small shit like weed and fake Molly and a half a gram of crack. You know what I'm saying? No, it ain't enough crack for a person to get high for a whole hour. But they got it involved into this RICO case. But let's go over a couple of the crimes that the DA has brought to the forefront since we on a fresh new day. I want to refresh everybody's memory. So the first charge that they, the first thing that the prosecutor came with outside of the opening statement, their first witness was a woman who worked at the Pink Pony, which is a strip club in Atlanta. She wasn't a dancer. She was more like a house mom. She was one of the people you don't see, one of the people that just collect a lot of the money and all that stuff like that. And, you know, you never see her. So she didn't understand how anybody would know, you know, how to follow her because she's not a person that gets seen a lot. This woman was followed home, and as she got to the gate of her house, or not the gate of her house, the entranceway of her place, her car was bumped in the back. And as she got out of her car to check the damage on the car, the young man got out, that was the driver, came out, act like he was gonna check out the accident, and then another young man jumped out the passenger side, went and ran into the car and stole her car. So she realized a couple of days later that she had OnStar. So what she did is she had OnStar track the car. So the second witness that came in was an officer that was part of the tracking of the car. He testified that he saw several guys that were, you know, about to walk to the car. They noticed him in his car. So one of the guys started approaching the guy. Well, several of the guys started approaching him, but one of the guys in particular, he was throwing up gang signs, yelling out, you know, fuck you, pussy, blah, blah, blah. And he was throwing up gang signs. Now, this cop that was, you know, looking to retrieve the car, he wasn't an expert in gang activity and gang signs and nothing like that. But he was aware of what neighborhood he was in. So, but the thing about that, when he wrote his report, he never said anything about seeing the guy throwing up gang signs. This is something that he just coming up with now that he's on trial. Okay, so he was another person that testified. He also testified when the regular police came, they chased the guy that was throwing up the gang signs and all that stuff, allegedly, and they found a gun under a bucket in the path that he ran. So he got charged with a gun. You know, they didn't charge him with the stolen gun. They didn't charge him with the carjacking. So it seemed a little irrelevant that they were telling about that story. But this is a RICO case, so they want to tell you every little crime that everybody's involved in this had to do with it. So moving fast forward, there was another case that an officer came through, and he testified of another situation where he was a patrol officer. And I believe the guys ran through a stop sign or something like that, didn't turn on a turn signal, something real petty. They pulled the car over. They smelled marijuana in the car. The driver was a Stevens guy. He's not even in the courtroom. But this guy here was in the back seat. So it's the guy, his girlfriend, this guy here was in the back seat. They found a gun and I think a little bit of weed, couple of bags that were bagged up. I think he said like 30 bags that were bagged up, and a couple of pills. So I believe it was this guy's drugs, in my opinion, because he was sitting behind the passenger seat. But everybody was arrested in the car. They found the gun, the drugs, a couple of pills. Everybody got arrested. I believe the young lady, she ended up taking some of the drug charges, as they said. And you know, that was pretty much the gist of that situation. Again, the cop didn't put anything in the report about any kind of gang activity. So you're going to see a pattern of when the cops were arresting these guys, they never put anything about any gang activity, but all of them are here testifying about gang activity. Then we had another situation where a cop pulled over a white car that was pulling out of an apartment complex. The cop testified that he's part of the fugitive unit. So the lawyers did a good job of making sure that they couldn't bring in the evidence of, he was already a fugitive. That's why they pulled him over. So they claimed that they were pulling the guy over because the tint was too dark on the windows. So these guys were going to get tinted windows on rented cars. So when they pulled this guy over with the too dark of tinted windows, he didn't have any driver's license. I don't know what's up with these guys without their driver's license, because the other guy didn't have any driver's license. There's not one person in this case that had driver's license. Not even Young Thug. But this guy didn't have any driver's license. So when they searched the car, they found a gun, and they found some solid white substance in the center console. Now, it was believed to be MDMA, a.k.a. Molly, a.k.a. just the purest form of ecstasy. But when they had it tested, which goes to the next person who testified for the prosecution, was the lab tech. They testified that when they tested the hard substance, it came out to be bath salt. This guy had an ounce and a half of bath salt. So they kind of did a good thing by getting him off the street, because somebody probably was going to die off the bath salt that he was selling to people that they were thinking that they were buying Molly. So another situation that a cop came and testified about was a situation that concerned, and before I get to this next situation, once again, they didn't mention anything about any gang activity in their police report. Now to the next situation, you got where a Young Thug was in a car. Car wasn't stolen and everything. The car was somebody else's car. So when they pulled Young Thug over, he didn't have any damn license on him. For some reason. Young Thug, now you're a rich man. Why don't you go get your damn license? But anyway, they pulled him over. They found a stolen gun up under the passenger seat. So, in the car behind him, I believe, had multiple guns in it. So the guys that were driving behind him, they end up going to jail for their guns. But Young Thug, I believe he was free to go. So, they also had a testimony of a guy who that gun was stolen from. The guy testified that his house got broken into, and, he had a stolen gun. None of it had to do anything with gang related. They're just telling about all these little petty crimes. So yet they had another person who testified about how their gun got stolen in a broken house. So I think the only thing that they're trying to get past is, it might be a gang full of people who break in cars or steal cars and steal guns. Pretty much. Another situation we heard, we had a cop that testified that he was passing by a store, and he seen multiple guys start running in the store when he pulled up in front of the store. So what he did is he searched the guys, pretty much, made them feel like the criminals or whatever. One guy didn't have anything on him. The other guy had a small amount of marijuana. He went into the building, and there was a guy that was in the game room. And when the guy came out the game room, the officer proceeded to search in the game room, and the guy had a half a gram of crack cocaine on him. Now, a half a gram of crack cocaine, I ain't never did crack cocaine or cocaine, but that's just like a damn near a 20, maybe a 30 piece. So, you're telling us about little 30 pieces of crack, that don't further the gang. I don't think Young Thug is like, hey, nigga, did you sell that half a gram of crack? Yeah, the gang need that money, nigga. The gang getting money. So, yeah, they had an officer come up and testify how he just, he confiscated a half an ounce of crack cocaine. Then we had another officer come up and testify that he was just getting off duty. He had just been in this, seemed like he was saying he was in a big shootout or something like that. And he was off work, on his way home from work. he needed to stop and get some gas. So he decided to stop at the hottest gas station in Atlanta, Georgia. What's good, Jimmy McFly? He decided to stop at the hottest gas station in Atlanta, Georgia. It was a whole bunch of people outside and cars. You know how it is on maybe a Friday night where everybody chilling at the stove, got the music pumping, everybody out there selling their weed, is the hoes walking around, everybody trying to holler. You got, if you ever been in Atlanta, you'll know as soon as you pull in that gas station, every nigga is running to your car like, hey bro, you want me to fill your tank up? You want me to fill your tank up? And goddamn, you like, yeah, fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? You get them niggas to fill your tank up. $60, $70 worth of gas, and you can hit them niggas with $25, $30. Hey, I took advantage of that shit every single time. I ain't lying. Shit. Why wouldn't I? Am I wrong for taking advantage of when you go to the damn store and all them dudes goddamn coming up and they say, hey boy, you want your tank filled up? You want tank filled up? And you know they're using a stolen credit card. But you ain't turning down no $30 for a full tank of gas. So, you know, he comes to the store, everybody out there hanging out, this and that, this and that. So as he was observing, and he had to move his car because one of the gas tanks wasn't working. He observed that it was a guy in a red car in the passenger side, and he had an AK-47 in his lap. But then he happened to see Young Thug's brother. And of course he knows what Young Thug's brother looked like. So he sees Young Thug's brother, you know, and I think that's what his focus on, but there was a lot of commotion going on at the store. He said an old dude came out the store raising hell, talking about how he gonna kill some niggas and all this crazy stuff, like he gonna kill these young niggas. So the driver in the car where Young Thug brother was, which Young Thug brother was sitting in the back seat. He jumps out of the car, the driver that is, and gives the old man a gun. As the old man's waving around a gun saying he gonna kill these niggas. So apparently Young Thug brother jumps out of the same car with a gun in his waist, takes the gun from the crazy old man, jumps back in the car, jump in the other car where the dude had the AK-47 and all that, jumps back out of that car, and he walks over where everybody else is chilling at. So that's when and I guess the other people left. This cop that's off duty, he calls a backup cop. They pull up. They arrest Young Thug's brother immediately. Young Thug's brother was out on bond for this same YSL RICO charge. They let him out on bond. They gave him 15 years probation like they did everybody. They made him say YSL is a gang and all that stuff like that. And they gave him a chance to go home. But that situation sent him to prison for 9 years because he was let out on bond. So that the cross testimony, I think we watched that on Thursday. The lawyers drilled him like, okay, did you put anywhere in the report that this guy was part of a gang, any gang activity or anything? Once again, there was a no. The defense attorneys asked, okay, why didn't you arrest the guy with the AK-47? Why didn't you arrest the old dude that was waving around a gun? Because you're saying you're witnessing an aggravated assault. All you heard was crickets. So, once again, another crime that did not illustrate that everything was part of a game. I think the last testimony that we heard, it was from another situation. And I don't know if we went over this situation, but I'll at least tell y'all about it because we're about to listen to the defense question the officer that, you know, told the last testimony that I remember us talking about. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, man. If it's 37 people in here, it should be 37 likes. I mean, I'm not talking drama right now, so everybody that's in here, they should be in here to hear the news. Hit the like button, man. Show a little love. But anyway, the next testimony came from an officer. There was a call that came in. They also brought in a testimony from a call center lady operator. And, you know, she just explained how the call center shit works or whatever, blah, blah, blah. They they played the voicemail. I mean, they played the call of several people calling in saying there was a shooting on a basketball court. So, you know, the officer even got a call into his walkie-talkie. The officer that came up and testified, he got a call saying there was a shooting at a basketball court. So an hour or two later, after the shooting, he's driving around and he sees a person that he's claiming is a suspect that he thought was maybe a suspect. So he pulls over to talk to this guy. This guy takes off running. The guy takes off running, throws his gun. The officer picks up his gun while running and then hawks the guy down, gets the gun from him, arrests the guy, and bam. So you got another guy with another gun charge. Once again, the officer never mentioned anything about any gang activity in the police report. Dang, just coming to common knowledge. And then we had one more story, I believe, that came up where a police officer pulls over another guy for a minor traffic violation. They smell some weed. They end up finding, I think, like 20 or 30 individually packaged bags of marijuana. It didn't say what this is YSL marijuana. It didn't have packs that had YSL stamps on them or nothing like that. So once again, it did not prove that anything that these individual crimes that they're talking about furthered the game. So they're bringing up all of these witnesses. These folks said at first that they had over 700 witnesses. They narrowed the witnesses down to like 400, and I think they're trying to get like 70 witnesses out of the way just this month alone. But we're starting to see from the prosecution side that all these damn witnesses that they're bringing up, they're damn near useless. They're bringing up witnesses to testify about how they break down weed in the laboratory. Yeah, they literally had a laboratory person to come and tell you, yeah, this is how we determine if it's real weed or not. This is how we do a chemical sample of the breakdown a half a gram of cocaine. Yeah, we use all the resources of Georgia to break down this half a gram of cocaine because we want to make sure we get this RICO trial going. Not one person has spoke of a murder. Nobody's yelling YSL. None of that. We also had gang experts come and testify about, you know, the ongoing gang, you know, war, who the alliances is of one gang and another, how the gangs identify themselves by tagging on stores, tattoos, and stuff of that nature. Oh yeah, we did have another situation where an officer gave his testimony of how he was looking on Instagram and he seen this young man that was he had hashtag slime, so he figured that he was a YSL gang member. The young man was trying to get some cootie from an old woman on Instagram, and while he was happened to be talking, I guess he was rolling up a blunt of weed, or he was tying up a sack of weed or something like that. So as them looking at him on Instagram, they decided to go pull up on this young man in this apartment complex. There were several young men there. They seen that somebody hit the alarm button to lock the car, and as the officers pulled up, they smelled marijuana. There were two women in one car, a lot of dudes that was standing around. There was one dude that was sitting on the side of the driver's side with the young lady. So when the officer pulled up, he immediately arrested that one young man that he seen on Instagram with the little small bag of marijuana trying to get at the old woman. He immediately locked him up. Now, he looked around for any marijuana. He didn't find nothing but a blunt that he seen on the ground, and it was on the passenger side where the other young lady was. So that's the marijuana he found. Once he searched the car, he searched in the center console, and he found the keys to the car that was beside it, the one that he seen on Instagram. So they literally been targeting all these people that they got. They just don't want to say, yeah, we've been targeting these niggas. They're trying to act like it's just been a coincidental thing. So they go get a search warrant. They have the officer testifying, you know, how they went and got a search warrant for it. They went and got a search warrant, searched the other car, ended up finding 3 guns and a small amount of marijuana. I think it was a little bit under a half an ounce. So that's what they testified against. Once again, when they arrested them, there was nothing in the report about any gang activity. They're not speaking of the gang activity until they coming in here and testifying now. So these guys could very well be a gang. But when y'all arrested them, y'all ain't say nothing about no gang activity. So you're gonna make the jury think that y'all are working in cahoots right now, and a lot of y'all are just fucking lying for this trial. Because if I was in the jury box, I would say, yeah, most likely all these niggas are gang members. They got YSL tattoos on their face. They got all of this shit. But you are not proving your case. Plain and simple. We all know that these niggas are gang members, but you can't. You still got to prove your case. The judge has been seeing it. I ain't gonna say he's been a little more on the prosecution side, in my opinion. He's been giving them a whole bunch of, objections that they shouldn't be able to get. He's allowed a whole bunch of evidence in that shouldn't have been let in. Like at the beginning of the trial, he allowed the DA to put in a whole bunch of slides in her slideshow of inaccurate information. You know, she accused the defense lawyer of Young Thug of defending one of the people that was charged with murder when he only defended him in his appeal case, not in his regular case. And she's also had missing information in her paperwork that one guy had gunned down another guy and he didn't have anything to do with it. So it's just been a big old mess. I have no idea how they could have handled 28 people, but they could barely handle these 6 people. So we went over all the messiness of this trial. And that's not including all the stuff that happened pre-trial. You know, one of the defendants, his lawyer got locked up for having some prescription pills in his possession. He also got contempt of court, got fined for not showing up one day. Had 2 jurors get in trouble. One juror that went to, I think she went to the DR, missed a day, unexcused day. The judge gave her a 30-page fucking essay to write, or threats to go to jail. I mean, it's just been a circus. Now, today, y'all, court got canceled. You ask why? Earz, why did court get canceled today? Well, what I got on the screen right now is why court got canceled. I was at work, ready to hear the testimony, ready to, have something to listen to at work. And I heard the judge come in and all of the lawyers came up to his whatever you call it. And then he just read out that, hey, there was a medical situation with one of the participants. So they were going to recess for the day. I was like, what the hell? I thought it was another juror that got sick, or I thought it was like the DA. Maybe somebody got sick or something like that. But as I waited a little longer, I seen this news article, and I'm going to go ahead and play it for y'all, and then we'll go ahead and get into the content. Well, we're already into the content, but we'll get into the day 9. This is day 10, but we missed Friday, so we're going to go over what happened on Friday. But I wanted to go over this part first. So, here we go. Uh-oh. I had a shot.
YSL Street Gang in court.
Breaking news at noon, trouble inside the walls of the Fulton County Jail surrounding a co-defendant in the YSL trial. Good afternoon, I'm Rick Fulbaugh.
And I'm Joy Lim Nakrin. So right now, Shannon Stillwell is in the hospital after being stabbed inside the Fulton County Jail. Atlanta News First reporter Brittany Ford is live outside the jail now. And Brittany, this stabbing has interfered with today's court proceedings.
Well, Joy, yeah, Judge Glanville had to dismiss court for the day in light of what unfolded here at the Fulton County Jail overnight. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office confirming Shannon Stillwell, also known as Shannon Jackson, was stabbed and is currently in the hospital. Stillwell, one of 6 co-defendants in the YSL RICO trial involving rapper Young Thug, accused of leading the YSL street gang. In court this morning, Judge Glanville disclosed limited details to the jury.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a medical issue come up with one of our participants, so I'm going to have to recess for today, okay? And these things happen. So we'll come back tomorrow morning at 9.
So, unless, what I was about to say, well, let me make sure this thing ain't too loud. Okay. So that's what happened today. This, and I gotta remind y'all, this dude here is the person that is accused of killing the gang leader, Nut, the one that sparked this whole YSL trial. He's the one that's accused of it. Now, niggas been trying to kill this nigga for the longest. I know this for a fact. They even, in this trial, we're also going to hear about how this guy here is, I guess you could say he's responsible for it. But one night after the murder of Nut and the ops was trying to, you know, get back at him, he was on his way to get something to eat with 2 other passengers in the car, and some dudes pulled up on him, shot the car up. They crashed the car. Everybody died in the car except for him. He got, I think he got shot in the back, shot in the side, and some other shit, you know what I'm saying? So he ended up dying, the other people end up dying. This guy here has a lot of demons that he's dealing with. He's killed multiple people. He's been shot at so many damn times. People around him have died. This is not the guy you want to be hanging around, because you might get killed just being in the area of this dude. I ain't lying. Every time, if you ever be around this dude, you gonna constantly have to worry about shit like this. That's all you gonna hear when you around this dude here. So this ain't the dude you want to be friends with. And then he gets to the county jail, and this is the second time he's been stabbed, people. This is the second time he's been stabbed. This man ain't gonna make it through his sentence. Even if he get out of jail, I don't think he's gonna make it. This dude here is a dead man walking, if you ask me. He is a dead man walking. Whatever time they give him, they just wasting the state of Georgia money. I ain't lying. But because he got stabbed up in the jailhouse, he getting stabbed in the county jail, but in prison you gonna have, but you ain't gonna never be able to sleep. If you getting stabbed in the county, yeah. So let's so we're gonna get off of him for a second, and we'll come back to him. Hopefully he make it. I don't know why, because hell, he gonna get stabbed up again. But there were several stories on this. Hold on, I'll play one more news report about it. Maybe they say something different.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Faith Jesse. So we start with this. The YSL RICO trial is on pause this afternoon after a defendant was stabbed in the jail overnight. Our Bobeth Yates is at Grady, where that defendant is currently being treated. So Bobeth, what can you tell us about his injuries?
Well, I have confirmed that Shannon Stillwell, one of the 6 co-defendants in this YSL RICO trial, is right now here at Grady being treated after being stabbed and hurt overnight.
If you at Grady, that means you had a real serious emergency. Grady in Atlanta is a trauma hospital. That's where they're going to have to take your ass to get stitched up, try to save your life. Anytime you get stabbed, shot, whatever in Atlanta, or you having a baby, that's where you're going to go at, Grady Hospital.
Now, according to what I've been able to confirm, Stillwell was stabbed during the early morning hours at the Fulton County Jail on Wright Street. Now, Stillwell is one of the 6 co-defendants in the YSL trial.
Young Thug and these goddamn oranges, boy. This is the most orange eating nigga I ever seen. Every time this nigga in court, this nigga got an orange. Look at this nigga. They always catch this nigga with a motherfucking orange. I don't know. Look at that. That nigga got 2 oranges. That's just like a nigga that ain't got used to being in jail, though, boy. You keep those oranges on deck. I ain't gonna lie. I was like that, too, boy, when I was locked up. Because that's about the only thing you can sneak around. Nigga gonna keep them oranges, boy. That nigga gonna come out be goddamn glowing like a motherfucking, like an orange man.
Street. Now, Stillwell is one of the 6 co-defendants in the YSL trial. According to prosecutors, Young Slime Life is a gang ran by rapper Young Thug, and they ran a criminal enterprise in Southwest Atlanta in the Cleveland area. But the attorneys for the defendants maintain YSL is nothing more than a record label. Now, 11 Alive briefly spoke to Stillwell's attorney, and while he was unable to go on camera, he did confirm with us that he will be visiting Stillwell at the hospital today to get more updates on his condition. Now take a listen as the judge made the announcement in court this morning to the jury.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a medical issue come up with one of our participants, so I'm going to have to recess for today, okay? And these things happen. So we'll come back tomorrow morning at 9. I'd like you to be here for 9 o'clock for an anticipated 9:30 start time, and we'll just see how things go at that point in time.
So once again, like I said, you know, this was the report all through Atlanta News or whatever, that this defendant got stabbed up. Somebody's dancing because, you know, he's caused harm to their family members, so they're glad that the man then got stabbed up, probably. So let's go to day 8 and day 9. We're gonna use another source like I like to use, Cuff Boys. Cuff Boys does a great job of breaking down these this Young Thug trial, and hell, he even broke down the young YMW Melly trial. This is what he does, and I really like his breakdown. He kind of cuts out all the extra stuff or whatever, but the thing that he does, though, he does kind of cut out the prosecutor's testimony, and the when they bring up a witness, which is usually a police officer. You know, we kind of always skip past the part where the prosecutor is asking all these softball questions and everything. They pretty much have them say everything they want to when they come up there. Now, what we're going to learn on day 8 and day 9 is about Young Thug, a situation that the prosecutor brought up in the opening statement, where in 2013, Young Thug was in the mall shopping, him and a couple of his buddies, and one of the mall security cops were, I guess you could say, harassing him, or maybe, you know, felt some type of way. Maybe they were doing something that, you know, brought attention to themselves. But the mall cop followed Thug to his car, and he claims that Young Thug threatened to come back and shoot him in the face. Now, the cop, I don't believe he put anything about any gang situation when he put it in his report. But this is just another petty situation that they're bringing to the light. And but let's see what was going on in court. We're going to listen to the defense questioning of the defendant, and we'll go from there.
Day 8 and 9 of the Young Thug YSL RICO trial had some interesting moments. One of the moments pertains to an incident Thug was a part of at a mall in Atlanta, where Thug allegedly told the mall cop who was kicking him out that he was going to come back and shoot him in the face. This is from 8 years ago, 2015, a little mall incident where there was a verbal threat from Thug. Kinda tedious in my opinion. I don't see how this furthers YSL as a gang, honestly, but let's get right into this.
Exactly. Even a person that has no idea about gang activity, you know, they can even see, yeah, we get your point. You want to tell us about all these little petty crimes, but, you know, we don't see how this furthers the game. So let's see the first testimony that we're going to hear.
Here's Thug on day 8 right here. They're talking about Huey running from the cops, getting caught with a gun, I believe.
Glock 19, 9mm.
A black Glock 19?
It was like a, yeah, it was a black.
This man writing down the gun like he ain't the one that had it and running from the cops with it.
But most of it is black. Yeah, this other tag where we target being stolen.
The guy's mugshot right there in his hand. What the hell? Yes. His lawyer wants to approach. Is that?
Do you know, are you aware how many people and individuals were shot?
Yes, ma'am.
How many?
3.
All right, let's see what Mr. Matthews does right here. Huey's lawyer.
The handgun that.
Now we know this dude always come up there and start cooking. He always come up here with some, you know, with some pretty good heat. This is one of Young Thug's lawyer.
That was reported stolen that you just identified. It was actually reported stolen on August 8th, 2015, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
By a resident approximately 3 years prior to the date of this May 25th, 2018 incident that you're testifying to here today, correct?
I would assume yes, sir.
Removed from his truck, and that there was no forced entry, and that it happened in Winder, Georgia, correct?
I'm not.
So what they're talking about right now is the stolen gun that this officer is claiming that he found on this young man. The guy that got out of his car and the guy started running and he threw a gun. He found the gun. The gun turned out to be stolen. They also interviewed the guy who the gun was stolen from. No, matter of fact, not on this one. Not on this one. This is a whole different one. So the gun was stolen out of a place, a country town called Winder, Georgia. But this is not about stolen guns and all that. This is about being a gang. But they're questioning the guy that end up arresting him and end up charging him with a stolen gun. And remind y'all, the reason he was responding to a call because of a shooting. There were several people that were shot, and he ended up coming around probably like an hour or two later after the shooting, and you see a guy walking down the street, and now you want to pull over and talk to the guy. He takes off running. You find a gun on him.
100% sure. I would have to look over
that.
How do celebrities like Justin Bieber and The Rock generate
physical descriptions of the person or persons that were involved in the shooting, correct?
No, that's not true.
Okay, what was the physical descriptions that were given?
The description that was given was the original call came up as shots fired in the park.
Okay.
And we to give out the description of individuals.
And what was the descriptions that you heard come through dispatch that would have been part of the 911 calls, right?
A black male and already. So.
No victim in a shooting on May 25th, 2018 ever presented themselves to you for you to engage them in a photographic lineup process, correct?
No.
No alleged victim has come forward to you and said that Mr. Huey shot them on May 25th, 2018, correct?
No.
What it sounds like is there was just a shooting going on, and Huey may or may not have been involved. His lawyer.
And that's the point in this part right here. This guy might have not even been involved in the actual shooting that this cop was dispatched to. But when he saw this man walking down the road, he just decided to mess with him. And he just happened to have a gun on him. This is one of those situations where you just get caught up on the humbug. He might have was just walking home, just making sure that he was strapped. And, you know, he got caught with a stolen gun. Bad luck on him.
We're putting that doubt in the jury's heads, though.
That you indicated that when you recovered the firearm, that it was warm, correct?
That it was what?
Warm. W-A-R-M. Warm. Hot. Warm.
No.
The Huey's gun wasn't warm. They just had a long sidebar. Now he came over to Thug and Brian Steele, and he's asking Thug questions.
The reason he asked that question, because if the gun wasn't warm, then most likely it wasn't just fired. Now they're also going to ask him, did they test the guy for GSR, which is how they test to see if you got gunpowder residue or if you've been firing the gun. And once you fire a gun, you have to go and scrub yourself really good. I heard you got to use milk to get the gunpowder out. Don't ask me how I know. I've heard through the grapevine. But, you know, they say if you shoot a gun and you got to, you know, try to get the gunpowder off you, you want to go home and you want to scrub yourself down with some milk. You want to take a milk bath. So this guy probably wouldn't have had enough time to go clean the GSR off of him if he had fired this gun. They also could have tested the gun for GSR to see if that gun's been fired. But they wasn't really looking for the shooter. They were just, you know, pretty much looking for an individual, it seems like.
It looks like. I wish I could know what they said, dude. I'm not sure because this incident doesn't involve Thug at all.
GSR, gunshot residue testing of any sort on Mr. Huey, correct?
No, sir.
You didn't do any GSR or any type of testing whatsoever on the firearm that you recovered from Mr. Huey, correct?
Me personally, no.
That seems kind of dumb. If 3 people got shot in this big shootout at a park and he got someone arrested, why wouldn't they do GSR in the guy's hands? And his gun wasn't warm, apparently. This is all very confusing.
You have no evidence whatsoever at any shell casing that you say may or may not have been located at this basketball court matched up to any firearm that you recovered from Mr. Huey, correct?
In my opinion, no.
So it seems like he's really trying to get the point across.
Now, that's a very good point. Because when you found this gun, this stolen gun, why don't you just try to see, just try to check to see if it's matching up to any of the shell cases. Check the GSR, see if he has any gunpowder on him, see if there's any gunpowder on the gun, see if the gun is warm. Why would you mention this situation about a shooting at a park if you didn't charge the person or thought he was a suspect? Right now, you're just bringing this to the jury just to put in their head, hey, this guy might have had something to do with a shooting. Hey, don't that sound like some gang shit? But at the situation of the crime, I mean, when the crime occurred, you wasn't concerned if this guy was the shooter or not. You just seen the guy, he ran, he threw a gun, you stopped, picked up the gun, chased the guy down, and you charged the guy because you went and ran the gun and it came back to be stolen. But you're coming in here and testifying like it has something to do with Young Thug, or it has something to do with this RICO case. Once again, we're on day 10 and we haven't seen a relevant witness yet. Nobody that, and I don't know, maybe to y'all, but I haven't seen anybody that can connect this to be any kind of gang activity. Now, like I say, we already know these niggas are gang, but you're not proving your case.
He had nothing to do with the shooting that happened and he just had a gun on him, which is weird because he's not even charged with anything involved with the shooting. I guess he's just trying to make the jury understand that. His charges are just having a stolen firearm.
Was from May 25th, 2018, over 5 years ago, correct?
Yes, sir.
You had no idea that you would be testifying here today, December 7th, 2023, about a theft by receiving of a handgun case in a RICO trial. Objection, relevant trial.
I stand objection.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
This lawyer pulls this shit every time. He always asks a question. He know damn well that he's going to get an objection to the questions that he answered. He already know it kind of be out of line. But he'll always throw it out there just to put it in the jury's head. He always makes sure he gets across his point like, yeah, all this is bullshit. None of it has nothing to do with any gang stuff. Y'all didn't mention any gang stuff. It doesn't even line up with what you're coming up here telling us. He does a great job of putting the prosecutors on blast every single time.
They're really trying to get the point across that there's no gang ties in the crimes 5 years ago, but now suddenly you're here testifying 5 years later. So
Who you representing? In Stillwell. It does not involve Shannon Stillwell. This incident in Grant Park in 2018.
Mr. Stillwell is the guy that got stabbed up, y'all, today. Now, this is the day before he got stabbed, but this is the lawyer for Mr. Stillwell. So what his lawyer wants to do is say, hey, did this situation that you're talking about, did it have anything to do with my client? Because there's plenty of clients back there that this shit ain't got nothing to do with. So all the lawyers are going to pretty much come up here and say, hey, did this have anything to do with my client? Nope. Okay, that's all I need to ask. Did you put anything about a gang in your report? Nope. Okay, that's all we need to ask.
I don't know.
What? No.
I'm gonna overrule that objection. All right, go ahead.
his reaction to her objecting to that, because she can't object to that. That was like fine. Lawyers are going to start coming up and doing this, bro. I swear. They're going to start coming up and saying this particular incident.
Salute, K2O.
That you're here for has nothing to do with my client, right? That this like narrative that YSL was like a huge gang that all did crimes together.
Ballistics are what links a shell casing on a crime scene to a particular gun, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you have no ballistic evidence on this case, the shooting, that links that shooting to Mr. Huey, correct?
No.
Okay.
These lawyers are coming up here and flaming these dudes one at a time, man. And that's the part that I say, hey, Young Thug might get off on this. Because when these lawyers come up, they always have their shit together. They have some good questions. And they always prove that, okay, yeah, there was a crime here. But we got a crime that either has been dropped, person wasn't charged in connection to what you're up here saying. y'all didn't even put the paperwork right. The credibility of a lot of these officers are all off. So it's just been a constant thing of how these lawyers been exposed. And I guess that's what happened when you got good lawyers. And it's like the DA is being jumped right now, but they put themselves in this situation. They the ones wanting to do a RICO case with 28 people, but they can't even handle 6 people. If all those dudes would have kept their damn mouth closed and brought all their ass to trial, 28 of them, man, please, I would have loved to see this DA try to handle 28 different lawyers. I would have loved to see that.
That shooting to Mr. Huey, correct?
No.
Okay, and you have no gunshot residue evidence to suggest that there was any gunshot residue on Mr. Huey.
Asked and answered. Move on.
And to your knowledge, you never charged Mr. Huey with any shooting, correct?
No.
Okay, I just want to be clear. Thank you.
Honestly, some good cross right there. I'm sure there's a few people in the jury that's starting to get annoyed with how much that is going on and how many people are coming in.
Good question. That's all they be wanting to get cross. Yeah, you ain't never charged Mr. Hewitt no shooting. The gun, you have no evidence that gun matched to the shooting, but you coming up here talking about a damn shooting. Just say you found the stolen gun on this guy and get the fuck on. Cause y'all saying a whole bunch of irrelevant shit. And the DA trying everything in their power to stop the defense from getting that point across every single time, but you ain't gonna stop this train.
And it's not too relevant. Like they talked about a shooting for a while, but there's no proof that anyone was involved in the shooting in YSL.
In this case, while the shooting did take place, what was your responsibility? What did you arrest Mr. Huey for?
I was arrested for stolen gun and obstruction and concealing a weapon. I stepped on my patrol vehicle trying to talk to him, and when I tried to talk to him, he need to go around, so that's obstruction from an officer.
Was a gun thrown by the person you saw take out from?
Yes.
And is that the gun that was saw earlier today?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this is the DA that's asking these questions. And, you know, she's trying to get it back in the ballpark, trying to keep it in the head of the jury that this guy here might have, you know, had something to do with the shooting. And she's saying, oh, why did you arrest him? Oh, I just tried to pull up in my patrol car and ask him some questions. Nigga, don't ask me no questions. The fuck is you talking about? But they're trying to get it in the jury head. Hey, why would this guy run? He must have had something to do with the shooting. He had a gun on him.
It wasn't Marquavius Huey who threw that gun.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
This boy nervous too. Huey paying attention. He's like looking around at each person talking, dude. I get it though. That's nerve-wracking.
Was that around 8:01 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Once you arrived, did you immediately see Mr. Huey, or did some time pass before you saw Mr. Huey? And in that period of time, could the gun...
Y'all, I made a mistake when I just said that the person that's talking is the DA. I think this is the lawyer for one of the other guys. Yeah, the lawyer that's talking, this is the lady lawyer for one of the other guys. I could be wrong. No, I was right. This is the DA because she's asking, could the gun have cooled down? So she's trying to make a point of, okay, when you got there, it was a little bit later than the actual shooting. I think the shooting was like around 6 o'clock. And when he ran into this dude, it was like 8 o'clock. So remember the question from earlier, the gun wasn't hot, right? No, it wasn't hot. So her point is, she's trying to say, well, when you found this gun on this guy, is it possible that probably around this time the gun could have cooled down? Yeah, it could have done cooled down. But did you go and fucking do GSR? Did you go and check to see if the shells matched that gun? No, you didn't. That's your fault. Just because he ran, only thing you could charge him with is obstruction and that the gun was stolen and that he had a concealed weapon on him. Did I say construction? I meant to say obstruction, y'all. I done been smoking on this gas, y'all. I don't know if I said goddamn construction or obstruction.
Stay off the weed.
I gotta do better.
I had cooled down in the period of time when you were looking for the subject.
That's affirmative.
That's affirmative. And that's yes?
Yes.
All right. Now, as it relates to Mr. Huey.
His lawyer's laughing because she just got the point across that the gun could have cooled down. They found it later on, like apparently like 20 or 30 minutes later. That is a good point from the prosecutor, but now he's laughing right here. That's funny.
In the course of prepping for examination today, was it
I always
2018?
over twice, 2018.
No, your incident was 2018.
So I was going through spice samples and I found this.
It was in 2018.
Your Honor, and I apologize, I know this had nothing to do with Mr. Williams.
Then please, please, sir.
District Attorney testified, I object.
Basis?
Object, he gave his answer, District Attorney said no, 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 and she's telling me the answer that she wants. This witness testified from his own knowledge.
I stand.
Hey, my boy be turning up now. Every time they try him, he don't just eject and say, hey, man, you can't do that, this and that. But my boy turned the fuck up. This the type of lawyer you need in your corner, man. Even if Young Thug lose this case, you can't say it was your lawyer fault. This man been going in.
That's the form. Okay, I got it. I stand the form.
Oh, she said no, no.
Once ACIC confirmed that's the gun.
So you made the 911
Well, it's not really a 911 call. So.
You didn't make the 911
No, I didn't.
You need to make one regarding that person case.
I did not.
Let him finish, okay?
I apologize, Shady.
Yeah, he was kind of shooting his.
That boy in his bag. That boy in his bag. He don't need you to finish, motherfucker. I already know your answer. He know the answer. You going this is the when he's talking like this, you know he know the answer before old boy gonna speak. Yeah, he 10 steps ahead of you, wabbit.
His question's too quick for the fucking witness to respond.
You didn't know anywhere in your police report about a weapon cooling down or having time to cool down.
Asked and answered.
I don't think I asked that question.
Asked and answered. Let's move on.
Oh, Brian Steele's coming up.
Ask the question again.
Have you ever arrested? Do you remember speaking about ever arresting someone for criminal street gang activity?
The question was stated to me. If I have an answer was no.
Okay.
All right, so that was day 8. Now we're into day 9, which was streamed today as I'm recording this on Friday. Today they're going to go over a situation where Thug got into at a mall where like a mall cop was like following them to a car because he was trying to, ban them from the mall. But then someone apparently in the car threatened him.
Okay, we discussed this situation already, but I don't know if this the cop or this is the mall cop, but if this is the mall cop, you can see why he probably started following Thug and acting weird, because I think Young Thug they was going through the damn mall and they was on fucking hoverboards, this was back in 2015 when them hoverboards was out here heavy. So he probably was saying, hey, man, y'all motherfucker Thug got like 20 bags and shit. Them niggas probably sagging they fucking tight ass pants and shit. And walking around there yelling, hollering at girls, whatever. And he probably just like, oh, look at these thugs. He probably ain't realized that was Young Thug. But even if it is Young Thug, you still should act civilized when you're out in public. But, hey, that's just my opinion.
The cop that's on the stand right now arrested Trontavious Stevens, who is Slug. 2015, he got caught with oxycodone and weed, I think, and a gun, too. And I think it was a stolen gun, of course.
We were on patrol, observed...
Okay, so I was wrong. That's not the security guard or any of that. They must have skipped over the situation with the mall thing, and they're going to this testimony of one of the cops that pulled over somebody and caught somebody with some weed. I believe I missed this part. So that's why I'm using Cuff Boys, because, he's been listening to it too. Hell, even he can't keep up. I know the jury can't keep up. We barely keeping up, and we got everything on fucking video. So, they're going to have a hard time really proving this case, because if the jury is writing this down, you're making the jury write down a whole bunch of irrelevant shit, in my opinion.
Traffic violation and then pulled the vehicle over.
Either these guys are some bad drivers or these cops are just finding any excuse to pull people over. Like, I don't know which one it is, but...
I believe they just already know who their targets is. They already knew who their target was. So that's why they just coincidentally always pulling these dudes over. They'll see a dude, they know that nigga ain't got no license. They pull your dumb ass over. I know you got dope on you, ain't got no damn license, you probably got a gun on you. But they can't just admit that, because then they would have to tell the jury a whole bunch of unauthorized searches.
These guys always make a wrong turn or some sort of traffic violation or dark window tint to get pulled over in the first place. I wonder who's lying in these situations.
So when we approached the vehicle, the first thing was you could smell raw marijuana very strong.
Classic. They can smell marijuana each time. Fuckers always smoking in their cars, dude.
His name was Trontavia Stevens.
Trontavia Stevens isn't in the courtroom.
Trontavia Stevens, we done heard that name before. He was the same dude that was in the car driving, and he had his girlfriend, and then he had the dude that got stabbed today. He had him in the back seat. And he went to jail already. He didn't have no fucking license, and he was doing the same shit. He was smoking and riding with no fucking license. You would have thought he would have learned this damn lesson about this shit already. Bro, you a whole hot boy out here. Damn.
By the way, you called a plea deal at some point, but
To the point that maybe suspicious of like an impairment. So I just wanted to get a baseline of what level of impairment I was dealing with. So I asked him to conduct like a simple task that any person could do.
And was he able to complete that test?
He was not. The Taurus 9mm handgun, Samsung flip phone, $134 in cash.
Well, at least a nigga had triple digits of cash in their pocket this time. Because every time we been seeing other niggas get pulled over, one nigga had $1 in his pocket, the other nigga had $19 in his pocket. So at least this nigga could have bought himself something to eat. But these niggas always got a gun though. Broke ass niggas and guns do not mix. That's like water and oil.
There was a digital scale, an iPhone Generation 4, 4 oxycodone pills.
These broke ass nigga damn sure know how to have an iPhone too. I forgot that. That's a broke nigga kit. How the fuck is always a broke nigga always got a motherfucking better phone than me? I got a job. But is a broke nigga always with a motherfucking iPhone 6, the best weed, the prettiest girl? Man. That shit be amazing. I ain't lying.
And then 34 grams of marijuana, and then another additional 25 cents.
Man, pissed off, dude.
Do you see any of those individuals in court here today?
No.
The person that you arrested was it Marquavius Gray, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and not Marquavius Huey, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Definitely got to make sure you clear on that if you're a lawyer and two people got the same, a similar name. Because you want to make sure that the audience don't, I mean not the audience, but the jury don't get confused with two different people. Nah. And you got to remember, you got to try these witnesses like this too. Because I think, what was it, Thursday when we went over the case? There was one guy that our officer was talking about, and he could have swore that the guy was in the damn courtroom. Young Thug's brother, that's who it was. And the lawyer came up and like, you say you seen my client today? Yeah. Where was he at? He was over there. What he had on? He had on this and that. What kind of tie he had on? Just fucking with him. So everybody that the prosecution done brought up, they done slipped up in some type of way. Besides just telling their story, when they get that cross-examination, shit.
Further questions?
He wants to make sure the jury doesn't get confused with his client with another person. That's how confusing this is going to be for the jury.
Would you agree that the area was a poor area, impoverished area?
Yes.
The businesses in that area.
They finally got somebody to admit that it's a poor area. Because, when they had that other cop up there, the one that was telling, I think he went from being a patrol cop to at Zaxby's to being a homicide detective all of a sudden. I think they kept asking him, hey, do you think it's a poor area? I don't want to disrespect my community. There ain't nothing disrespectful about saying that the area is poor. But you knew it was a gang-infested area. You knew it was a lot of crime around there. That's what you testified to.
Do you remember several businesses in that area?
I remember a few.
Okay. Do you remember whether many of the businesses had video surveillance? By that I mean like inside and outside their businesses?
Yes, some of them did, but most of the surveillance equipment, at least from investigations I was involved in, was either A, faulty, or B, very outdated.
Next stop on July 3rd, 2015. Was Mr. Kendrick in the car?
No.
You see Mr. Kendrick right here?
Yes.
Have you seen Mr. Kendrick outside of this courtroom?
Possibly. Wave is one step.
Now this is another way. Now this is another way to just separate his client from all this bullshit. Because you got so many cops coming up here saying this and that story or whatever, but you got a lot of different people in here. So every lawyer representing the client, they got to come up there and say, hey, have you ever seen this guy in your life? Have you ever seen him, you know, have he ever did anything? No, 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 no. He ain't part of the gang, is he? Nah. And they can trim that tree a little bit by a little bit every time by doing that right there. Separating each one of these guys to make it appear they've been doing individual crimes for themselves, not to further a gang. And that's all the defense needs to prove.
If he lived there.
Do you recall having seen him?
No.
To test evidence for the presence or absence of controlled substances. I don't know, but a lot.
How many reports have you?
Okay, so he's skipping through the different witnesses that they have. Of course, these trials be forever a whole bunch of boring shit. They have to, you know, make sure that they certified. They got to tell their background, all that shit. We don't want to hear all that shit at this point. We got so many of these motherfuckers to go through. But this woman here, she's one of those lab women or whatever, and she's just pretty much about to tell how they can tell weed is weed. I mean, these are the type of motherfucking witnesses they got. We got to go through a whole bunch of tedious witnesses. Every time they find some weed, you got to bring in a person that tested to make sure that it's real weed. You find a pill, you got to bring in a person to tell you how they test pills and tell you how they know that that's a real pill. You find a gun, you got to have somebody else come up and tell you how the gun was shot, what they did to see the numbers was set. You find a stolen gun, you got to bring the person that said their gun was stolen, then bring the goddamn person that arrested the person that was stolen, and bring in the person that written the report, bring in the fucking evidence cage person. Like, a whole bunch of these witnesses are gonna be irrelevant. But the prosecution stacked up all this shit telling everybody, yeah, we got unrefutable evidence. We got over this and that. And it's all bullshit. I ain't gonna say it's all bullshit. We got a long trial to go. We ain't heard about the murders and all that stuff yet. So, you know, there's a guy that's in courtroom, the one that got stabbed up. He's accused of 2 murders. So maybe when they get to that part, maybe we'll have a better understanding of why they brought this trial or felt so confident about bringing this trial.
Over 5,000.
So she's done over 5,000 tests of the GBI. So she's just tests for oxycodone, that one I would imagine someone got caught with. This next guy right here is also just a weed tester of some kind.
Okay, I had him confused then. She was the pill tester. But same thing I was just saying. They got to bring a person in to test every single fucking thing. So they brought a weed tester and a damn pill tester. And they brought somebody in to test that HDMI. And they found out it was bath salt. They ain't even test the rest of the dope. Because if you find one fucking fake ass dope, what's the use of testing the rest of it? But the arresting officer didn't tell them to test all of it. Now it's biting them in the ass.
So we don't know, it's not Mr. Williams. The state would like to introduce that portion. I don't believe that it goes to anything except character, and I understand it's not Mr. Williams taking the threats.
So the officer that came up to them at the mall and like tried to get them banned from the mall and then got threats said to him, apparently he's been threatened by fans online later on. Mr. Steele right here is trying to make sure that the state doesn't say that someone in YSL was threatening him or something, that it was actually just fans of some kind. So he's just trying to control that narrative.
Mr. May was threatened online, which caused him to change his behavior, shut down his social media, and from that he learned that he was being threatened because of his reporting of the threats that Mr. Williams made to him. I know there was too much time in advance. I think maybe about a month, maybe even 2 or 3 weeks. Once he learned that he was being threatened, he shut down his social media, determined to learn more about Mr. Williams, and so he put his name in, and that's how he learned his name was Jeffrey Williams. He did not know that when the threats were made. Initially, he just knew him as Young Thug, or that he was Young Thug. And then what precipitated him finding out his real name was he learned that he was being threatened,
So he didn't feel like he was being threatened when he just knew that he was Young Thug, the famous rapper, the famous Blood, Splat, Slime, King Slime. So it took him 3 weeks or a month to realize that this was Young Thug He knew him as Young Thug, but he had to find out his real name to feel like he was threatened. That kind of don't make sense to me. And this prosecutor, she ain't got a hood bone in her body. So it seems like they're a little green to what's really going on out there in the streets. And they just trying to play the audience like they green too.
Shut down his entire social media accounts and then began to learn more about who Young Thug was and learned that his name was Jeffrey Williams. It was at that point he learned that Young Thug was Jeffrey Williams and the person who made the threats to him at the mall.
So he didn't know who the person that made the threats to him until he was...
He knew it was Young Thug, but he didn't know
He
who
knew
Thug
that?
was. Yes, he learned on the day of the threats that it was Young Thug. He did not learn that Young Thug's real name was Jeffrey Williams until at the mall, that he began receiving threats so much so that he had to change his entire behavior.
But it's fans, though. Thug has no control of what fans are going to do once they find out information.
Yeah, because we know what all these wabbits gonna do. These folks find out your real information. They must have found out this dude's information. Oh, you tried to hate on Young Thug. And man, I can imagine all the bullshit that man got through social media. Once Young Thug let it be known that, you know, there was a mall cop fucking with him. But he knew that was Young Thug, and he all of a sudden he shut down his social media. I think they got it backwards. I think that they're saying that once they learned the mall cop's real name. Because why would you need to know Young Thug's real name to know that you might be under a threat? If he threatened you at the mall saying gonna blow your head off. But of course, Mr. Steele, this is why he get paid the big bucks. Let's see what he's gonna say to debunk all that bullshit.
Later, Mr. May claims, I don't have it, I can't read it, it's hearsay. He claims that he's being threatened on social media. I've never been given social media. I'm not saying it's true. I have no idea if it's true or not, but I can't even read the social media. No one's saying that Jeffrey Williams or Jeffrey Williams had somebody threaten Mr. May then said, I don't want to be on social media, and I want to look into who are all these people outraged that I had a conversation with Young Thug, and then he realizes how popular Jeffrey Williams is as a renowned artist, and found out his real name. In this whole hearsay, which is a threat, just to get to this person in Google and found out Jeffrey Williams' real name.
Your Honor's not in the midst of hearsay. He can say, I received threats. We're not saying what the threats are. He's saying, I received threats on this social media. Once I learned that I received threats because of being threatened, I then did this.
A threat is a statement.
But not,
that is an out-of-court statement that the state is offering.
No, you're just making a threat. I mean, a threat would be, you know...
I understand your ruling. But what?
I don't understand it. I mean, he made a threat. When he found that he was being threatened online, then he needed to know Thug's real name to justify that threat online. That's really confusing. It doesn't make sense. The judge knows it's bullshit, but for some reason he's very lenient on this prosecutor, man.
Relevance is that the gentleman.
Yeah, that's not relevant in my opinion, that he figured out his name was Jeffrey Williams from social media like 3 weeks after the incident.
It shows the effect of what his if the jury believes this, what allegedly happened to him on that particular day and why he then acted the way he did.
Yeah, that's a good point of yeah, if the jury believes that, because it really don't. But you know, I guess you got to let it in just to try to be fair. Hey, if they want to hang themselves, let them hang themselves.
He did.
A lot of people have been saying the judge is biased. I'm starting to see it a little bit. It seems like he's like 60 or 70% for the prosecutor and then like 30% for the defense in terms of what he gives them and their breaks he gives them.
What he did as a result of that.
That's all I'm asking. I don't know the threats you mentioned by unknown people. I mean,
you understand doesn't intend to go into specific threats. We don't know what they are. We just know he was threatened.
That's irrelevant after fact.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna. And plus, the jury's gonna give it whatever weight they see fit. Okay.
It's all bad. It's bad.
Okay. All right.
He's definitely making a good point here. I mean, it's all bad weight. You just saying that the man was threatened, but you can't say what he was threatened with, and then how is he threatened so much for 3 weeks, and then it don't even. And then it's not even a threat to you learn the man's real name. I could see if you say, hey, they learned my real name, that's when I started getting threatened. You know, then that would make more sense. But if it wasn't that serious until you learned what his real name was, I can't make that make no sense.
We're not getting any of that. So the threats of other people are not. We're not getting into those particular specific threats. Okay.
It goes that further. You can't mention it was threats. You just received messages in and change it. I don't understand why it's relevant to change social media. Why does it have to be a threat?
Because we are very concerned and we strenuously object to injecting the subject of threats into this case. And I understand that we're not going into specifics, but even the general idea that threats are involved create, in our opinion, an implication of guilt.
Now this is good teamwork, because see, you got multiple lawyers arguing the same thing, and you got to know that this is going to be put into the record. So if they lose this case, they really have a strong case for appeal because of the type of things that are being allowed to come in, you know, that are not making any sense. And I don't know why the prosecutor is trying so hard to get so many irrelevant things pulled into this case if they got some smoking guns. I mean, you got all of this damn evidence. Like, you gonna burn the jury out with all this bullshit, because this is bullshit. But the jury's not in there right now hearing this argument. But when they come in, they'll be hearing how this guy got threatened through social media, not by Young Thug himself, but through a whole bunch of wabbits, you know, that just wanted to you know, come around and do what they do after he found out what the man's name is. I know people wasn't coming in his chat like, why you was messing with Jeffrey Williams, talking about he didn't feel threatened until he found out the man's real name. If people were threatening you, they were coming in there and say, nigga, why you was fucking with Young Thug? They wasn't coming in there and say, why you was messing with Jeffrey Williams? Shit don't make no damn sense. That's why the defense is trying not to get this bullshit pulled in.
And Your Honor, there are two cases I'm going to ask Your Honor to consider.
They just don't want the word threats being put into this case at all, because it just shows that they could be guilty.
A security officer who was notified about individuals on skateboard electronic devices, we term them hoverboards. It's been becoming popular, and so I was notified that he tried to advise his individuals to get off the hoverboards, and he was met with resistance. So
So pretty much that's what they was mad about. Them niggas were rolling through the mall on hoverboards. You know what I mean? And the mall cops, they felt like going up there and say, hey man, y'all need to get on. What would you do as a mall cop? You see Young Thug and nigga riding on hoverboards through the mall. Me personally, I don't want no problems as no motherfucking mall cop. So I would have went up to Young Thug. I'd have said, hey man, you know, check this out, bro. You know, I know who you are. Hey man, it's my job to tell you, you can't ride the hoverboards through the goddamn mall. But do me this favor. Shoot a nigga $100, right? And you can ride through this motherfucker, but just don't, just go ahead and get your shit and get the fuck on. I'ma act like you told me, fuck me, and all that shit. I don't really want no smoke. And we just gonna play this role. I'ma act like I'm telling you to get the fuck on. You know, I'ma escort you out the mall, but I'ma let you get your shit first. Don't get what you need to get. You know what I'm saying? But make it easy on me and you, bro. Conflict resolution. But this nigga almost lost his life trying to motherfucking be super mall cop.
These guys were in the damn mall on hoverboards. It was 2015 though. It was a different time. They were like blowing up in 2015.
Don't fuck you, he's leaving. One of the individuals told me, the other one, not the one that said fuck you, told me that I can't tell them what to do. They continued to move away. They're being loud, they're using profanity. There was a lot of, it was a weekday, I'm assuming, from what I can recall. There was still people in the mall and families, and so it was drawing some attention.
Dude, holy shit. All this over a verbal threat about I'm gonna shoot you. Honestly, if someone said that to me, I'd be like,
He said he's gonna come back and shoot you in the face.
Yes.
All right.
I looked at the image and identified that they're shooting you in the face.
He said,
all right, bro, peace.
Yes.
all right.
I looked at the image and identified that they're shooting you in the face.
He said he's gonna come back.
Now I stopped it right here because I want to see what it was that they were showing. His picture is kind of covering that part right there, but pretty much what you see is the valet parking is going to be over here out of the scene. But I guess that's where he would be coming out. So this is where he was probably shopping at, I believe. Urban Outfitter. And they probably was getting their shit and about to pull up out of here. And the man wanted to follow them to make sure they were all the way out the damn store. Man, goddamn, bro. Yeah, follow them, but I'm like, man, hey, I'm just doing my job, bro. Just, you know what I'm saying? All they want y'all to do is damn, bro. I ain't making nothing but $12 an hour. Bro, you know what I'm saying? Can I, give me a picture of something that I can make a little money off of or something. Hey, that shit ain't worth it, man.
Yes. All right. I looked at the image and identified that it was the same individual who threatened me and earlier told me, fuck you.
So the person that you saw was the person who said, fuck you, we're leaving, and I'm coming up here and shoot you in the face.
Yes.
So they're saying it was Thug that said, fuck you, we're leaving, and I'm coming back here and shooting you in the face. Bro was just having a rough day. All right, everyone calm down. I think that's Thug right there in the front.
Now look at that, those individuals on the hoverboards.
Look at all the, they got so many bags, dude. And he's following them out. He got so many bags, dude. And he's following.
So yeah, he was really trying to be a super mall cop. This is the guy right here. This the guy right here. Dude on the hoverboard. These niggas got all these bags. They minding their business. Man, you doing too much, bro. You doing too motherfucking much. I don't know if this is backup or whatever, but even he like, man, shit, man, we ain't gotta do too much. Them folks don't want no problem, man. They just want to get their shit and get the fuck on. And probably had a show that night. They just trying to get fresh and get the hell on.
Pulling them out. This man Thug is cruising around on a hoverboard.
That's what I'm talking about. Wait.
Hey, you're a rich nigga. Do what you want to do.
Alright, what's the point of this footage, bro? You cannot see shit. Alright, we get the point, right? We get the point. Allegedly, Thug said he's gonna shoot this guy. Me personally, it's just a verbal threat. Does that mean he's a big gang mob ball? Let's see what Brian Steele does here.
And then do you see a gentleman who looks like he's maybe drinking coffee or some substance below on the table?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I want you to tell the jury, while this loud argument and the profanity is going on the escalator, tell the jury the reaction of the two people in front and the gentleman who is eating or drinking at the table below, okay?
So what Young Thug lawyer trying to get across right now is, this dude is testifying that, hey, while he was trying to get Thug out, they were yelling at me and profanity. They was causing the scene. Okay, if they was causing the scene, tell me, and we can't hear the audio on here, so we got to go off of people's reaction. You got white people in the front of you, white people in behind you, white people to the side. If a nigga was causing the scene, white people gonna be looking. So the lawyer is gonna make that point, and this is a good defense, in my opinion.
As it plays. Just tell us when to stop and you see them signify there's an argument.
Until the first two get off the escalator?
If you stop, if you don't. Yes, sir.
Until the first two get off the escalator, which you pointed out, and I wasn't paying attention completely to the gentleman at the bottom of the table. He does seem to turn his head, but I don't know.
Brian Steele's trying to point out that no one else reacted to the mall, to this loud argument that occurred. He described it as a loud argument that was, you know, causing a scene, and people were like looking. On video, there's none of that, but, you know, they probably were arguing. Let's be honest here.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when you see that person, do something if there was some profanity and loud argument.
Nah, he probably wouldn't have threatened Justin Bieber that way. You know, I'm pretty sure Thug ain't the first motherfucker that came in this mall with a hoverboard. I'm just saying. As long as he ain't hit nobody or nothing like that, I guess, you know, man, let that man have that shit. But I'd have treated him like a bounce at the club, man. Shoot a nigga a Honda or something. Ride that hoverboard all you motherfucker want to. I'd act like I couldn't find that nigga.
That was speculation.
I sustain the objection. Well, just tell us if you see that person move. Okay, if you could stop it. Did you see the gentleman who is sitting at that table that we've been discussing look up?
I saw him look around. I didn't see him look up.
Okay. It's fair to say that Mr. Williams, the gentleman you say is Mr. Williams, is in the white shirt that already exited the screen that we're showing.
I can't tell you what shirt he's wearing. He's one of the two individuals on the hoverboard. He asked me to recall this from years ago.
And to be clear, we're talking about 8 years and 5 months ago. Right?
That's correct.
You're aware the DeKalb County case was dismissed, right?
When was I made aware? When I spoke with you?
Okay.
Another case that was dismissed because they thought it was bullshit too. All these cases that they keep bringing to these folks' attention have been shit that once they went to trial, people are like, nah, this bullshit. You claiming that this man tried to shoot you or whatever, bullshit. You ain't got no proof of that. You see Young Thug just getting on his shit and getting the fuck on. He ain't looking back. He trying to get the fuck on. You trying to do the most. Good defense.
Damn, this was dismissed too. I just feel like this is pointless, bro. I'm sorry. Like, but it's a verbal threat, dude. Like, get him, but like, yes, like, yeah, at all.
Is that you running? Yes. Okay.
So there's Thug right here with 2 orange shirts, the mall security.
Do you realize that none of your coworkers say that Jeffrey made that threat?
Objections.
What's she objecting to that for? None of the co-workers said that this man threatened him. This nigga out here trying to break a sweat, running after Young Thug, because Young Thug trying to get the fuck out of there on his hoverboard. It don't seem like you being threatened like you got to force this man to leave the mall. This man getting the fuck on. And you out here full-fledged sprinting, trying to go fuck with this man. Acting like goddamn Bart, what that dude name? Bart the mall cop? Top of the line security of the world. Yeah, he was trying to get jumped for a lawsuit. Top of the line security of the world ass nigga.
What's that?
I'm overruled the objection.
No, I spoke with Officer Lewis. I'm sorry, not Lewis. Sorry, Stevens.
That's Police Officer Stevens, who works with the Dunwoody Police Department, right?
That's correct.
He comes out after the Jaguar is no longer on the scene. That's correct. And you called them?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'd like to...
None of his co-workers said that he said that? That's a good point right there. They should 100% have been able to hear it if they're standing there.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen jury when you notified Dunwoody Police or any police department of the supposed threat. You cooperated with him. And you gave him...
So he didn't give them... He didn't tell them about the threat? But you so scared and all this shit like that? You knew that was Young Thug. You knew him by his stage name. But you didn't feel threatened until a couple of weeks later till you found out his real name. Which I think that's when you knew that you could try to sue him for the little bullshit you were trying to pull. But he was doing some real fanboy shit. Some real fanboy shit.
A statement about this information that you're giving the jurors, right? And you told him about this supposed threat, about being shot, God forbid, right?
I'm sorry?
You told him about this supposed threat.
Yes.
And did you tell him that the person who made the threat to you said that if you continued to approach, he would shoot you in the face?
I don't recall. I don't recall that part of it.
Now you don't recall it. Why you just gonna say that it just didn't happen? Because you know they'll find out that your motherfucking ass lying. You remember everything else, but you don't recall that part. But that's amazing.
That's fine. Do you remember telling Officer Stevens that you immediately backed up at that point and then allowed the vehicle to leave?
Yes, I backed up.
And allowed the vehicle to
I
leave?
don't remember that part of backing up.
Do you deny telling that to?
I can't tell you what I did. I don't recall it.
Did you ever see...
Now let's say he can't recall shit. I don't know if I backed up. You backed the fuck up. You following this man all the way to his car and shit. What's the point of following the man? Once the man leave out of the mall, you can watch from the damn steps of the damn mall. You steady trying to fucking rush out running out there full blast trying to stop this man from getting in this car like he done stole something or something. About got your motherfucking head blown off.
Any of the 3 people on the video do anything aggressive? And when I say 3 people, I'm talking about the 2 on the hoverboard and the 1 walking with the bags.
I don't know how I can tell you aggression from the video and the angle. I don't know what you're asking me for.
Fast movement.
Fast moving?
Yeah, did you see anything aggressive?
Again, I don't know what you mean by aggressive, sir. I watched the same video you watched. I can't tell a lot of the actions through the video quality.
Your Honor, I'm going to tell this is a past recollection.
You haven't laid all the foundation for it. I'm not going to admit it. And plus, it's bolstering at this point in time.
Your Honor, based upon the prosecution.
Can you come on up, please?
Yes, please.
Judge seemed a little bit annoyed with the prosecutor not laying enough foundation.
I want to ask you about, and just go back to a week later, 3 days later, whatever, the supposed threat that the man or woman showed you on their phone. You're not saying in any way that Jeffrey Williams had anything to do with that, are you?
I'm not saying it was him, no.
Okay. And then, did anyone come back to the mall?
I don't remember.
And that's pretty much it. That's Thug's lawyer trying to get the point across that he wasn't the one doing the threats, online at least. Thug might have said that in real life, yeah, but stupid, yes. Is it that serious? Is it furthering YSL?
Okay, y'all. So I kind of got a little bit of the same opinion he got, man. Yeah, all this are they crimes? You know, is Thug part of the gang and all that? You ain't proving that. You know, y'all just having a whole bunch of situations where supposedly people are, you know, supposed to be gang members and then did this and did that. You ain't really proving your point, but you know, hey, if that's how they want to go about it with this trial, that's on them. That's on them. So we all caught up, being that we got a day off that was in trial today. We made sure to bring everything that that we can possibly know about what's going on in this trial. So we know that there's really haven't been, and this is not a biased opinion because I'm not a Young Thug fan. You know, I believe if the man actually did the crime like they say, you know, hey, you do the crime, you got to do the time. So I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but if I was in the jury, man, I'd be like, when are y'all going to bring something relevant to the case? Like with the YMW Melly trial, we seen plenty that kind of had him dead to the wrong. We didn't have to be convinced too much what it is that, you know, how he was in a guilty position. So when it comes to this trial though, we like, damn, when are you gonna just give me some good solid evidence? Some good solid evidence, undeniable evidence. And we've yet to see that. But like I said, we got a long trial to go. But we definitely got a delay right now because we got one defendant that got stabbed up. So depending on if he wants to come in after he done got stabbed up, or he just wants to give his permission for them to continue on and let his lawyer go ahead and do what he got to do. But if you locked up, hell nah, you want to get out of that motherfucking cell as much as possible. Bitch, I want to be there every day of court. Fuck that shit. Drag this shit on as long as you got to. I'm going to make y'all earn y'all damn money. So I'm pretty sure he going to make them hold this shit up. So there might not be any trial tomorrow also while this guy is, you know, getting himself back in condition. No telling, maybe it wasn't that serious. Maybe it was serious, but they definitely say he was in stable condition. So we'll see how that goes. And y'all know Earz to the Street will be bringing it to y'all. So I think they want a mistrial too, man. I think they want a mistrial too. It's starting to make sense. But that's all we got for the night, y'all. So we're gonna get ourselves up out of here. I appreciate everybody. Make sure you hit the like button on your way out. We had a successful show. And I'll be back when we get any other updates, man. Y'all tell me what you think about the show. Don't forget to if you want to show any support, go ahead and hit that Cash App, because
for your patronage.
So anybody who hit the Cash App or the Super Chat, man, is highly appreciated. Highly appreciated. Don't be ashamed to show love. Don't be ashamed to show love. Salute to 421 TV, Jimmy McFly, Knowledge Power, Musso Bronze. Cheers to Earz, Joshua Hawkins, everybody that's over there watching in the bushes, I appreciate y'all. Do not forget to at least hit that like button. It helps out a lot. I came out here in my best suit. But y'all have a good day. Wick made 912 out y'all area. I'm gonna drop a video before we go, cause we know they in their feelings.
I'm big man, fucking little man.
Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Got him in their feelings. Man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man.
Big man, little man. Nigga, I don't give a fuck. Yo, bitch gave me that Georgia Dome. She like to turn up. Are you mad or nah? Nigga, tell me what it is though. All day, I've been running through your bitch with my whoa. Little man, big man. Nigga, tell me how you feel. Are you mad cause I pop your bitch up? Homie, keep it real. Niggas love to hate. When I get this cake, take a bitch out, I ain't talking no day. She told me so good, put my kids in the face. I'm dipping, I'm dabbing, and fucking and passing. If I ain't mistaken, her name is Jasmine. She a pro on the pole. Got a nigga big man. Got on their feelings. When a nigga start throwing blue cash.
Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man.
Yeah, I heard she real mad, but it ain't my fault. I can't fuck with a mess ass. Turn up to the fucking man. Bitch, I been in shit. You ain't even got a fucking ass. But why is you really mad? Don't really wanna hit if it don't concern the cash. Got her in the feelings bad, but she can't get mad. Been told her that it wouldn't last. Piped up, blowing gas. Best for life, bitch. You know that we talk flash. I know why you probably mad, because I caught a neck from that bitch that you thought you had. Why should I feel sad? Why should I even show remorse for your bitch ass? But I can't help the acting ass, and I can't really help but the swag when my flesh ass. Hit the brakes like the gas. Bought a whole 3-5, you know I had to make it last. Ran through the chat fast, but now I ain't tripping cause you know I'ma get it back. Walked and they looking mad. My whole team smelling like a whole motherfucker pad. Told the bitch you relax. They don't come close cause you gon' catch contact.
Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Got him in their feelings. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Big man, little man. Big man, little man. Niggas, you big man. Got him in their feelings. Big man, little man. Now these niggas big blow. Y'all wear the same clothes. It ain't my fault that you hot by these same hoes. Walk with a bankroll. Pull up on the scene. They be like, there you go. Hit him with the Rico. Step back, 3 points in his face just like D-Rose. Gassed up, come see. The nigga who you wanna be.